The bonus round continues right here on Game Trailers. I'm Jeff Keighley here with Michael Pachter and Garnet Lee, and this week in the bonus round, we are going to talk about new ways to play games. In the mobile space, we've seen a lot of excitement around free-to-play. I think I saw some stat that showed like over 80% of the revenue sort of from the App Store now is coming from free-to-play games. Yet, in the gaming business, we still have these $60 boxed products, especially on the console side. Free-to-play has been experimented with on the consoles, but I even look at a game like Titanfall. I mean, could that game have been free-to-play? And then you could, pay to upgrade and things like that. I mean,
so you're feeling safe about burn cards not being a commodity in the game?
Well, that's the question, right? Is like with
Big
things
question.
like, burn cards, with things like, all the weapons and upgrades and things like that. How do you keep things fair in these games and still keep them free-to-play? Obviously, people figured it out.
There's three basic types of free-to-play game.
Right.
There's social, which is, and without boring you with detail about any game, it's like playing with dolls. Right. So everybody wins, nobody loses anything, and you help your friends. And God knows why you spend money. You spend money because you want to have the biggest farm or the biggest city or whatever. There's player versus player, which we all understand on the console side. And player versus player, most of them, not League of Legends, but most of them are resource management games, Clash of Clans. Minecraft is sort of that way, where you have to build stuff and you can save time.
Right.
You can get more resources by upgrading your iron mine or whatever, and you pay to speed that up. And people don't get offended if you pay for resources because they understand that if you had unlimited time,
you'd eventually get there.
Yeah, you could just be there and every 6 hours upgrade your thing, but you can also pay to accelerate it now because I'm only going to play 10 minutes this day. And then the third is player versus environment, which I would say is kind of like the classic single-player game, but it's manifested itself as mostly puzzle games. So you're not playing against another person, you're playing against the puzzle. And
Plants vs. Zombies.
Then nobody cares if you spend money to beat it. Right. They just don't care because
you're in your own island.
Yeah, right. Do whatever, do what the hell you want. So these things have had success to varying degrees. And social, as we all know, was Zynga. Farmville was incredibly successful until it wasn't. Player versus player, the biggest are Clash of Clans, which is $1 billion a year franchise, and League of Legends, which is different. It's strategy, but it's still player versus player, or players versus players. And then on the puzzle side, or on the player versus environment side, it's puzzle games. So Candy Crush has been the runaway success. If you could make a console game that worked like one of those, sure. So Plants vs. Zombies could absolutely have been. Bejeweled could absolutely have been a big hit. I don't know that you can do that with an established franchise. So Call of Duty, it's tough. Yeah. Because people kind of expect, they all understand how to level up. They understand that you get a Kalashnikov at level 33 and an AK-47 at level 50. And it's like, I earned that AK-47 and now I can go kick out all those level 48 asses. Yeah. They don't want people to be able to level up faster. So I think it's hard. With a brand new franchise, sure, you can. So no, it's not Titanfall. Yes, it is Destiny. Destiny's going to have something in there. I don't know.
And they still haven't really talked about the business model, right?
They're going to sell you the game.
Yeah.
But there's going to be something in there that you can pay for. And I think that they're building that to be a $60 package product with ongoing free-to-play.
So you said no subscription.
No, they've said no subscription, but I have heard from people who know that there is a recurring revenue model. I don't know what it is, and free-to-play makes the most sense. So I think as you decide you need weapons and you need iron to forge your weapons and you need a forge, you can get a bigger iron mine that puts out more iron if you spend $1. Yeah. Or you can wait a week and everybody else has the weapon a week before you do.
That really concerns me in $60 box games because I think that
if you already paid for it.
Well, and besides that, having worked now in making free-to-play design decisions is there really are, to my mind, two sorts of free-to-play games. There are games that are designed with a free-to-play revenue model, and then there are free-to-play revenue models that someone straps a game on top of. And those are two very different things. And neither of those really apply to $60 games. A $60 game thing to me are people from the outside looking at the model and saying, oh, wow, look at how much money Clash of Clans is making.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if our franchise that we've marketed so heavily, that we have this long tail on, could keep earning us money? X-Packs didn't work. DLC sort of fell off even over the last year with digital delivery. Now let's go in and do microtransactions. Look what it's done to Forza.
So
it's
the
wrecked
first
Forza.
the first one I saw that actually did it, and maybe successfully, is GTA. Because the game is not a multiplayer game. The game's a single-player game, but the multiplayer game is free to play. You just can't play it unless you have the $60 disc. It is a different game.
Sure.
But you had to buy the
price
disc.
entry, yeah.
So I think Destiny is going to be based on that model. So I'm not so sure. And again,
But Destiny has also been very public that it's a 10-year game, so they're going to be releasing expansion packs or something every year.
Destiny
I would
could
think,
be
right?
designed from the ground up to be a free-to-play
I
game,
think-
but they're not doing that. And that's the difference. I mean, to me, if you look at, to
You
my
say they
mind,
give that game away, is what you're saying? Yeah.
yeah, World of Tanks, Path of the Exile. I mean, the reason these games like
but
that,
it's the same as a subscription MMO. So Blizzard sold the packaged product for World of Warcraft and then charged $15 a month. They said their next game is going to be not going to be a subscription, so obviously free to play. They're still going to sell you the disc. People are going to buy the disc, and then the ongoing gameplay is
And why
going
do you think
to be
that
free
is?
to
Just
play.
because they feel like that's easy money they're going to get anyways,
Yeah.
so they
Well,
might as well get
yes,
the
because
60?
they can, and I actually think for the experience, the single player campaign in Destiny or whatever you get rudimentary to get up to spending money will probably be worth $60 because it's Bungie and it probably will be that.
depends on whether you come at it from an purely economic side or also a creative side. And I would also argue World of Tanks has been wildly successful. Doesn't throw the balance out for players. It's a very accessible, I can get into it and play the game for free sort of game.
And it's actually quite fun if you play free.
And it's full production
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Path of the Exile, same exact thing. Great, well-developed, very, very strong Diablo-like game. Nothing that impacts the progression of the game, nothing that makes you wait or not have access to something, yet doing quite well from a revenue model. Maybe not at a Candy Crush level, but it's making good money and it's made good creative decision. It's good on both sides.
All right, guys, hold that thought. We're going to be right back here in the bonus round.